Now that you have your first module created, we're going to take things to the next step by creating a front-end controller. The front-end controller is what is going to allow content to be loaded into the web browser. So let's get started. The first step is to edit our module's config.xml file. In the config file, we're going to add a new section for the front end. In this snippet of code, we're creating a new front-end router. What this means is that anything beginning with example in the URL will be routed to our controller. Next, we need to create a PHP class for our controller. Create a new file in the controllers folder, and let's name it Hello Controller. The PHP class is going to look something like this. An important thing to remember is that all controllers should extend from the Mage core controller front action when we're programming the front end. When a controller's route is dispatched, Magento looks for actions as functions within the controller. In this case, our controller has a single action, the world action. So once we save this file, we should be able to view this page in the browser. Our URL is going to include our front name in the very beginning, followed by our controller name, followed by the action. So what if we want just the front name example to provide a URL in Magento? Right now you can see that this page doesn't exist, but when we don't provide a controller and an action in the URL, what Magento is looking for is a default index controller and a default index action. I can quickly show you how that works. Let's duplicate our Hello controller and change it to the index controller. When we do this, we have to change the class name to index. And let's create an index action. Now, when we go to the magento.local/example URL, we should see that text that we just provided. This is how you provide a default controller and a default action for your module. Similarly, if we want example/hello to function properly, we need to add an index action to our hello controller. So let's recap. We started out by modifying the config.xml file for our module. We added a snippet of XML code, which declared a front name for routing all of our controllers. Next, we created the controllers themselves inside of our module. Coming up next, we'll turn these controllers into something a little bit more functional by adding layouts, so stay tuned.